boiled,
we've toiled.
and cooked up a storm in our humble kitchen
Now we invite you on a gastronomical tour of KZN.
as we encounter the culinary genius of various chefs at our favorite restaurants in the province.
So join us on this journey as we traverse our beautiful province right here on Love at First Bite.
Well, hello again and welcome to Love at First Bite.
Yes, today we continue with the whole idea of a theme.
Yes.
So what we're doing today is all the dishes that we're looking at has a theme of chicken.
Yes, so of course we chose chicken because it's such a versatile dish. There's like 100 things that you could do with chicken.
And very popular.
And exceedingly popular. In fact, it's one of the most frequently ordered dish at any restaurant.
Well, I think everybody knows chicken. I mean, we went to some restaurants when we were, I won't mention the country, but when we went overseas and we said, is this lamb? And they said, lamb, buffalo, same thing, boss. I didn't even use an accent, see?
You didn't. Well done. And also, of course, I mean, most odd things that you eat. I know I've been told that crocodile tastes just like chicken. And rabbit tastes just like chicken.
Where have you been eating?
So, and I said I've been told. I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
Snake.
so adventurous. Tastes like chicken.
Okay, there you go.
So a lot because it's very light. It's a white meat. It's also white meat is supposedly better for your health.
Okay.
So we've
especially
got,
when you take the skin off, right?
Yes, exactly. So you do need to skin it.
Okay,
We've done
so
that with all of our
last
dishes
week
today.
we had eggs.
Yes.
This week we have chicken. Mm-hmm. So which came first?
Well, the eggs, because it was a week before
Oh,
the chicken.
right.
And, well, I don't know. What's the answer to that? Age-old debate. Which
That
comes
just can
first, the
go
egg or the chicken?
On and on and on, and you'll never get the correct answer. So let's just not get there.
Okay.
So what are we doing?
So we're doing three lovely little chicken dishes.
Okay.
The first of which is a very light and easy dish. I love them because we get to make them in advance in bulk lots, freeze them.
I can't wait. It sounds so exciting. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about little mince pies, chicken mince pies.
Chicken mince pies, all right?
So chicken mince pies, they could be made, in advance, tons of them together, and then you could just separate them and freeze them. And the nicest thing about them is you pop them out maybe, frozen when you need them for lunches, put them into the oven or put them into the air fryer, and there's a fresh and beautiful chicken pie for your lunch.
And if you're fighting with your spouse, you put the frozen pie in his lunch.
His lunch or her lunch?
His lunch.
Okay, all right. So it depends on who makes the lunches at home. So you
Yes,
automatically assuming that the ladies are making the lunches.
Okay. Which came first, the chicken or the eggs?
So yes. So if we go back to our
So
little,
that's the chicken pies.
right. So the chicken pies, but we're doing little mini chicken pies because we want them to be served as a little bit of a starter.
Bite size. Then what else are we doing with the chicken theme?
So we're then doing some tandoori chicken wraps. So I know chicken wraps are absolutely popular. I know they're very popular with my kids. You could give them a wrap at any time and they absolutely love it. But we're just spicing things up a little bit because that's what we do. And we are doing tandoori chicken wraps. So we're showing you a quick and easy tandoori kind of chicken. And this also can be rustled up in a couple of minutes.
Tandoori chicken. All right. And then if you look, you'll notice there's tons and tons of spices and ingredients and whatever here, because what we're doing along the chicken theme is chicken biryani.
Yes, so biryani is also, I think it's the king of all Indian dishes.
There we go.
And it was usually a luxury food. I think now that people are so au fait with making a biryani, they can rustle up a biryani in no time. So we're doing a biryani. Traditionally, you could get a pilau or you could get a biryani. We're doing a biryani.
You need to explain to people the difference between a pilau and a biryani.
So is it this people here?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I know.
Well, Kabeshan's going to explain to us what the difference is.
Don't try to catch me, I know.
Okay,
a
tell
pilau is basically the biryani, but it's layered.
Wrong.
Oh,
It's the biryani that's layered.
That's what I
layered
said.
Biryani.
That's what I said.
You said a pilau is a biryani that's layered.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Which came first, the egg or the chicken? This is confusing everybody.
So a pilau is actually all just mixed
Oh,
up.
mixed
it's the
up. Oh.
rice and the meat all
Okay.
cooked together. You could get a lighter version of that called an akhni, which is also, it's biryani, not as rich, but rice and meat cooked together.
Okay, so what's, so
Pilau.
pilau is?
Well, a pilau is a richer version of an akhni, and then a biryani, as we said, is the king of them all. It's really food for kings, literally. So,
Okay.
you know, traditionally, I think when you go to a wedding or when you go to huge, big Indian celebrations, you would be served biryani because it is the Rolls Royce of all dishes.
All right, okay, I'm still confused.
All right, so we're going to do a very quick and easy
But it's
and
not, is it layered?
foolproof, yes.
Okay,
It's-
because I know when the biryani is layered, you got the meat at the bottom
Yes.
with the potatoes.
Yes.
You have the rice.
You have
on
some
top,
lentils, and then you have rice.
rice, and then when you dish that out, you need to go down.
Dish down.
Yes.
So everybody will say dish down when you're dishing
And the
a
reason I
biryani.
know that is because when you're dishing, you get lots of smacks on your hand if you do it the wrong way.
Yes, because it's all the rice on the top. It doesn't make any sense if you know, just dishing from the top.
And generally, you find that people will take the rice and put them separately in Bainbury.
You
so-
could actually,
All right.
you could do that. You could actually serve the rice and the meat separately. But today we're layering them
Doing
all
it
together,
together.
and we're cooking them all in our electric frying pan.
All right, so let's go through the ingredients for our chicken biryani. We'll start on this side,
Yes.
and then we'll move on to
All right. So,
What
yes,
do we
so
have?
I think firstly, the star of the show is the chicken. So we have a whole chicken here, and this chicken was 1.5 kilos. Of course, by the time we've skinned it, we've removed all of the skin,
Came to
and we
half a
have,
kilo.
yes, cut them all into bite-sized pieces. You do want them to be, nicely cut up. Not too large, and of course not too small, because remember it's going to be cooking in
Then it
biryani.
might just
See,
disappear.
that will disappear. So there's it nicely cut up
So
here.
this is a one chicken biryani.
Right, and we've chosen to use bone in. So a lot of people just choose to use thighs, or they choose to use fillet, but there's something,
Magical.
authentic about cooking chicken with the bone in, and where you slicing up an entire chicken.
Yep.
So that's our chicken. And of course, with any biryani, we have the rice. It's a rice dish. So as you can see here, we have steamed the rice, but it's actually quite firm still. So you do want to
Because
feel
it
that?
still needs to be cooked.
Yes.
Right.
So because if you overcook it at this stage, it is going to be all mushy in your biryani. And as you can see, we have some treasures in here. This is a bay leaf. And
Not a real treasure.
yes, it is a treasure. If you open your mouth, I'll pop this in. This is an ilachi. So we have boiled this with about 3 ilachis, about 3 bay leaves, and I've got a large cinnamon
taking
stick.
it out.
So when we're ready to pop this in, there you go. When we're popping it in, we are going to then remove all of the spices that we've boiled it with. And what this does is that it flavors the rice, and when the rice is boiling, all of the flavors infuse. Can you stick that there?
There, these are the onions cut in circles.
Right,
That
so
took me the entire morning.
Beshan has cut them by hand in little circles. So we've got 2 onions in here, cut beautifully into circles.
Just to tell you that while I was cutting it, the knife slipped and hit the board. And instead of somebody who was next to me saying, "Oh, shame, you almost got cut. You're a bloody idiot. You're going to cut yourself. Do it properly."
Who did such a
My mother.
awful thing? Right, and then in this little container here, I have the lentils. So lentils, we've got large black lentils. Oops, I've dropped some here. But I just wanted to show you this. So you know that the lentils are done when you press them together and they are soft as this. So if you were to press them and they don't squash, then they're not ready. And the difficulty about having raw lentils in your biryani is that it can actually upset your tummy a little bit. It's very hard to digest. They look little stones. So try to get your lentils nicely cooked. So I've got here one,
This is all now pre-cooked, right?
it's all pre-cooked.
Okay.
1 cup of large black masoor, which is your black lentils.
Okay.
Right.
Then, we've already cut the potatoes and deep fried it.
Yes.
Just to keep it going.
So I've put some egg yellow coloring in here.
Oh, I was wondering why.
So 1 teaspoon of egg yellow coloring, and I've done almost like half a teaspoon of salt, sprinkled it in there. I've deep fried them, and so they're completely ready. And here again, they're firm, but they're cooked through. And if you put your potatoes raw into the biryani, by the time the chicken cooks, the potatoes will just disintegrate.
So you're obviously going to put the potatoes a little while after the...
After, but it's not even about that, but just so that it prevents it from disintegrating.
Okie dokie.
Right.
Right. So that's...
So we have a lovely bunch of dhania, which you're going to chop up for me just now. We have
the mint that I
mint.
started
I would
chopping.
say like a cup of chopped mint. So Kabir is just going to finish that up in our lovely device, Tupperware lawnmower device. So if you can stick that here.
Into... Okay, you carry on with the ingredients. We'll
So
come
I'm
back
just
to...
going to throw that
what
in
a
there.
lovely, strong smell.
Right. So I try not to liquidize it simply because it makes everything turn green. So we don't want that. But when we chop
this
it,
is
you
for
put some
your-
extra mint to garnish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. Let's do our lawnmower trick
Okay,
there.
you want to just carry on with that?
So while Kubeshan is doing that, I have got some chili, which he's also going to chop up. We're not going to use as many chilies as that. But I would say we'd use about 8 chili, green chili.
Serious?
Yes.
Wow.
And
That's
I
a-
have some thyme. And, okay,
You can carry on speaking.
that's
Just
okay.
speak louder.
That's about done, I think. Well done.
Okay, just...
So you just want to pour that on the side. Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Right, that smells so good as well.
In here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we've got the chopped greens in a container.
Sorry.
Oopsie.
Get a spoon. Carry on. You were talking
All right.
about the
so
other...
what I was saying is that sometimes we have a huge harvest of thyme. So what I do is I just wash it, I dry it, and I stick it into the freezer. And it ends up blackening a bit, but it does the job. Because if you...
The flavor.
Yeah, the flavor's all still there. I wouldn't worry about doing
I'm just
too much of
enjoying
it.
this.
Okay, because you're now going to do the chili in that.
Oh, okay.
All right, so there we go.
All right.
So we'll put the blade back in there.
Go with it.
Okay, so thank you.
Those blades are sharp, so
They are
just
sharp,
be careful.
and we're just going to put 1,
I
2,
did
3,
3,
4,
4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's make it 10 for good measure. All right, so we've got 10 chilies in there, and I'm being quite generous with the chili because they're really tiny chili and they're not hot at all. So if you've got like some really spicy chili, I think you'd go according to your taste, 4 or 5. Yeah, that's a lawnmower happening there. Wow, a little more, and don't open it now. I can still see some whole chili. Right, and then we're just going to leave this because it's going to be really strong. We're going to just use it at the time when we are going through it. So just to recap, we have pre-boiled the rice, we've pre-boiled the lentils, we've fried the potatoes, and we've chopped up the onions, and we've chopped up all of our
Skinned the
greens so
chicken.
beautifully. We've skinned and cut up the chicken. Now we move on to the interesting bit, which is the spice.
You go ahead, my dear.
All right, so let's go over to this side. And what I'm going to do is just as we count them, we are going to put them into the little pan here.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. So these now are just basically what you put. This is now adding the taste, right?
Well, that's going to be tasty
As well, okay.
So if I count them out, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 little sticks of clove in there.
You see, it's going to be as pedantic as that.
Yes, so we do want to give everybody a recipe that's foolproof.
Okay.
I've got a large stick of cinnamon, and I have got 4 bay leaves in there.
Okay.
All right. So ilachi, an absolutely majestic
And if you've
spice.
never used ilachi in any of your curries or whatever, believe me, you'll be the one who'll get that one ilachi in your plate.
Right, so putting
So don't chew it.
6 ilachis in
very
there.
strong.
And we've got, this is black ilachi or alcha. So I'm going to put 2 of those in there.
Okay.
I am going to put a whole teaspoon of jeera seeds, that's cumin seeds. and some fennel seeds, a whole teaspoon of that. And I'm just going to put a little more for good measure because it's chicken. And I'm going to turn this onto the heat.
So it's all dry roasted, dry.
It's dry roasted without anything. We're not adding any fat into that. We're just dry roasting it. And while this is roasting, I am now going to put on the fryer just so
I'll
that
do
it
that for
preheats.
you.
Okay. You can actually just turn that on high for now. Wow. I'm going to just break the cinnamon stick up so that it fries a bit. And when you fry the spices, it actually releases all of the aroma. So here we go. So you're not going to brown this. You're just going to, when it starts to smell a bit, then you know that it's ready to be ground.
Yeah,
So,
it's like when you're a kid, you start to smell a bit, then it's time to have a bath.
I have not had that experience. All right.
Well, you're not
so-
a young little boy running around outside having fun.
Yes, so can you pass us a little grinder on the side, the little glass one?
This one.
Yes. So there we go. About a minute on the heat, and
That's
you
it.
already can start smelling
Oh,
the
yes.
beautiful spice
I
coming
thought it
through.
was your perfume.
I don't smell like ilachi and cinnamon, do I?
No.
All right, and you don't want to burn this because that's the other thing. That
The
if you
taste will
burn
be
this, it's
horrific.
going to infuse and you're going to have a burnt tasting biryani. So there's our little jar in which we're going to grind it. And I am just going to pour that right in. And, oh, do you smell that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Very
absolutely beautiful. So while you grind that for us, I am going to get the onion into the pot.
Where's that?
No, okay, let me help you.
That's how you get out of doing things, see? Is it done?
Yeah.
You need to stop it, I think.
I'm just waiting for some of those ilachi pods to be completely done. And there we go.
Wow.
Magic's magic. All right, so we've got the ground spice in here. So before we move to the electric frying pan, we are going to start to season our meat.
This here. So you
Yes.
need this now.
Right.
Okie dokie. There we go.
All right, so we're going to start. We've measured this out.
Whew.
Smell this.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. And I am just going to pour that on.
You want
Okay.
to take all this out? Because
that's
you know, you
okay.
measured it, you just need to use everything or it might not work.
Right, thank you.
Or is it just for baking?
That's fine. And we're done with this. Oh, actually, I'm going to stick the thyme in there. Right, there we go. That's okay, Kabeshan.
No, I like to be very
I
precise.
don't want to do that because it's in all the grooves. Give this a little mix. So if you want to, you can actually just do this the night before. You would cover this up and you would stick it into the fridge. And there we go. I have the dhania and we have the mint in here. And I'm just going to throw that in. I'm just reserving a little bit of the mint because we're going to use this later on for the sour milk.
Oh, okay.
All right, so there we go. We've got beautiful chopped green mint.
And if you want to, you can use your fingers.
This smells so good. I can't even begin to tell you. Here we go with the turmeric. A whole lovely teaspoon of turmeric.
Okay.
Okay.
Put that back.
I have
there.
some kashmiri. No, we're done with it, so we
Oh,
don't have to move
I'm
it back.
very sorry.
And we have the kashmiri powder. As you can see, I'm heaping it up really nicely.
No, but you put 20 chili in there.
And that's 3 teaspoons
Yo.
of that. I have some dhania powder here, and I'm going to put a whole teaspoon of dhania powder in there. And I have some paprika, which is nothing. It's just a sweet, beautiful flavor. I've got a teaspoon of paprika. I'm going to knead this again. I've got some egg yellow in here, and I'm going to put a teaspoon of egg yellow in there.
This doesn't look very
And
yellow.
I've got the salt.
Okay.
And I am going to just season from the top. Last but not least, I have the sour milk. So we have here a liter of sour milk.
Mass.
Well, it's yogurt or
Okay.
sour milk. And we are going to
Ooh,
just
the whole liter
drop that in. And I'm just going to reserve a little bit here.
for later on.
Yes, so if you can just put that aside.
Do you want
And
to drink
we
some of
are
this?
going to, you can try it. It's actually not bad. There we go.
And what this does when you soak it in overnight, it gets into the meat, and when you cook the biryani, it's almost like when you're chewing into it, biting into it, you get all these lovely tastes.
Mouthful of
and,
all of the beautiful flavors.
softens the meat as well, doesn't
And
it?
it does tenderize. So, you know, if you're doing lamb as well, it helps the yogurt actually tenderizes it absolutely beautifully. And this, the yogurt also keeps the biryani absolutely moist. So we're going to now move over to the electric frying pan. That is with the onions and with this beautiful
Do you need any
mix.
oil or?
Yes, I've got the butter and the oil there.
Okay.
So there's our butter in there. 250 grams of butter, but all the better if you use ghee. And I am dropping in here the 2 sliced onions.
Okay, is there any specific reason that you like it in circles?
Just that it could be larger, it cooks, you know,
Easier.
it's acceptable in a biryani to get a softened piece of onion. And you're going to pass us some of the oil.
Oil.
So that was 250 grams of butter. And if you're using ghee, that's going to be 250 grams of ghee as well. I've just added about 2 tablespoons of oil, just because we know that when we add oil, the butter doesn't burn. So there we go. We've got a lovely sizzle happening here. And this is just going to break up and it's going to fry ever so beautifully. And I have here fresh crushed ginger and garlic. So I'm going to be putting, oops, that was 2 teaspoons of fresh crushed ginger and garlic. Thank you. This is going to fry in here. All right, I'm just keeping the onions moving along. I don't want the garlic to burn. All right, so that's beautiful. As Kabeshan puts it in, I'm just going to mix it around. Oh, it smells so good. It's the smell of the butter and all the beautiful spice, the herbs. Oh, that is stunning. Wow. Right, as you can see, I did say we have quite a bit of fat in here. So that butter is also going to do its magic, infuse in the rice and the lentils.
Later.
Yes. So as you can see,
So
a
I
whole
can-
chicken.
whoops.
Oopsie.
I can see why you have a big domed lid.
Yes.
I mean, this pot's almost full already.
Yes, and then of course when we layer it, yes, the dome is going to accommodate the rice and the lentils. Okay. The rice and the lentils are already cooked. The potatoes are cooked.
Oh,
and
we didn't put the
chicken-
potatoes in yet.
No, we're just going to wait for this to cook a little bit.
Okay.
And when it starts to bubble and we see that the chicken is starting to become a bit tender, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients, cover it, and wait to eat them. So I think before we just get started with the wraps, I see quite a lovely bubble happening there with the biryani.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly add the chili and the lentils and the tomato. So if you
Alright,
could
I'll
pass
get the
us the
chili
chili, just put a little water in there.
I
Oh,
did
you
put
did,
water,
you did.
yeah.
Okay. So there we go. I'm going to turn that over.
Wow.
Wow, that looks beautiful. Just add the chili, but don't drop the blade in.
Yes.
Oh, this looks so good. And the nice thing is that we have no trauma of getting an ilachi in your mouth.
But you get
Drop,
10
drop,
chilies.
drop, because the chili is very strong.
John, you want to drink some
No,
of this?
thank you.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to just layer the potatoes in here. If you could pass me those tongs, please, Kabi.
The tongs, the
Yes.
tongs, the tongs. I put it away somewhere. I can't
Okay, don't stress.
There
I'm
it's
almost
here,
done.
it's here.
There we go. All right, so
Just a quick
we're just
wash.
adding these beautifully done potatoes. I'm done. But we can just, if you want to just.
Oh yeah,
serve.
don't thing me now.
All right, so there we go. Potatoes in there. I am going to add the lentils. And as we said, they're all done, salted and the works. Drop that in there. And just layer that over the pot. Oh, it smells so good. It's really looking absolutely beautiful. Now here, we may have an ilachi. There
catch
you
it.
go.
I've
So
got
your
him.
job is to actually just find the
Catch
ilachis
the
as we drop
ilachis.
them over. if you haven't managed to remove them after you've boiled them. So there we go. Yes, there's a bay leaf for you to remove, and an elachi, and there's one more here. Right, so we are scot-free. We have no worry about getting any elachi in any mouthful of our biryani. And that is your biryani all done. I'm going to lower the heat, and this is just going to cook through absolutely beautifully. All of the liquid is going to absorb in the rice and the lentils and the chicken, and this is already looking and smelling so good. And I'm going to lower this heat to a medium simmer, and there we go. This is going to cook, and in about 2 hours this is going to be ready.